everyone? Welcome to another episode of Spring Fever with me, XFL, CFL, USFL, ELF, XLeague Jim, joined by my co-host, Eric Uncle Rico. What's up, my man?
Dude, nothing much, man. Ready for a little CFL action. We only got 3 games this weekend, but some good games. My boy Fedora's no more, and we got some stuff going on.
Yeah, so we'll get through all the news and everything going on. There's a lot, but first things first. XLeague Week 1 in the books. We talked about it. We previewed the week and the season with our boy BJ. Go check out that interview if you already haven't. That's probably the most in-depth XLeague season preview I've ever heard.
In terms of XLeague previews, that was probably the most intense one I've seen or heard in the history of the league.
I would probably agree with that. The men went in deep. We got the scores week 1. So the way they do their season is interesting. So they play every other week, and they're only doing 5 weeks. Real short season. So last year was a little different. Last year they had half the teams played 1 week, and then the other half played the next week. So there was XLeague games on every week.
Well, how many sacks did our boy J Dub have?
He was good. He looked good. So we got the scores right here. I caught a little bit at 2 a.m. I was on the road, so I had to watch from my phone before I could go to bed.
That's safe.
I wasn't watching on the road, but I was watching just out of on my friend's couch. I was just watching late at night after college football. I thought
you were driving and watching. I'm like, geez.
No, I was driving and watching. No, I only drive and stream with you guys. That was safety first here in the garage. Safety first. So we have the scores right here. Game number 1, we had the Asahi Beverage Challengers 10 to the Elecom Kobe Phoenix 17.
Defensive struggle.
Elecom, we thought, was going to be a little bit of a wild card coming in, and the Challengers, they're feisty. That's the definition I'm going to give them. I'm going to give them feisty.
They compete. They battle.
And that's what you want to see out of these teams that are jumping up. Because I like that the XLeague does a whole relegation promotion thing.
I like that too. One of my fantasy football leagues, we do that.
How do you relegate in a fantasy football league?
There's A and B. If you win, if you make it to the semifinals, you're up. And then if there's a back draw in A, and if you're the 4 worst in the back draw, you go down. Each of them have 12 teams. Okay,
I can respect that. I like that. So I'm still excited to see how the Challengers do. I hope they get a couple wins here throughout the season. Up next, the biggest blowout of the weekend. The Tokyo Gas Creators 0 and the Fujitsu Frontiers 49. And it could have been worse. It could have been way worse than 49-0. I think BJ kind of previewed this one as coming because Tokyo Gas has not been good historically, and Fujitsu for the last decade has been incredible, but this year specifically they are so stacked.
Insanely stacked.
It's not I don't know if they'll have a very competitive game of the bunch. Up next, my team, the Deers, went up against IBM Big Blue, one of the top, I'd probably say 4 teams. They lost 10-35. You hate to see it. The Deers show heart. They show heart out there, but it's just the XLeague, the established teams are just so established and good. More so
top tier college football.
I would say more. They're like an extreme version of that. More so than college football. Even there's not parity. There's the top teams, and then there's everyone else. There's a top 3, then everybody else, but then they split them into tiers.
And BJ kind of hinted at that. You got these corporations and they take everything. It's not a draft. It's basically just if MLB, you know what I mean? The team with the most money would just sign the kids when they get out of college. And that's basically what it is over there.
I am interested to see how the Challengers and the Deers kind of what tier they end up finding themselves in by season's end. If they kind of sprinkle into the middle of the pack, or if they find themselves at the bottom with the Lions and the Gas Creators.
Where do you think they're going to be if you had to bet?
Depending on the team, I think the Challengers will probably be in that middle pack. The Deers, I could see either the top of the bottom or the bottom of the middle.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
I'm interested to see because like he was saying, it's more messed up this year because not every team is playing each other, so you don't get like a full grasp on what these teams can do and what their capabilities are.
Yep.
So I'm a little annoyed by that. But up next we had the Asahi Beer Silver Stars. I just love that there's a beer sponsored team. 24 versus the All Mitsubishi Lions 14. Kind of saw this one coming when you're the Lions and you don't play for 1.5 years.
Yeah, I mean, when you don't do anything for 1.5 years, you can't expect to compete at a decent level.
Like, no teams played in 2020, obviously. And then the Lions elected to not play in 2021 because I think the company Mitsubishi just didn't let them.
No.
So, like, when you take that long off, like, imagine if, like, the Minnesota Vikings just took a full year off as a franchise.
Yeah, and then have to, like...
And then it's like, oh, now you have to play again. All the same players. Like, the players don't get to play. They're still on contract with the Vikings.
Yeah,
they just got to come back in a year.
They're just sitting.
You're not going to get very many UABs out of that.
No, you're not. No.
Up next, we have the Nojima Sagamihara. I pronounced that wrong. Forgive me. 10 versus the Panasonic Impulse 30. I think the Impulse is probably the second best team in this league. That defense is staunch. They're good. And we'll probably get an Impulse Frontiers final if I had to put some money on it.
Yep.
I tried a little thing where I put lines out for all these games. I was pretty accurate for most of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is going to be a thing. So check out my Twitter at XFL Gym because I will be posting lines out for these games each and every time. And when they play again on the 24th, not only will me and this guy over here be doing a live stream of the Kansas Duke game, but later that night, I, at the very least, will be streaming some XLeague throughout that weekend.
I'll probably be all tuckered out.
I'll send you the link. You can jump on if you want. I think the earliest these games start is like 10 p.m. It's rough. Like, some of them don't start till midnight sometimes.
I mean, that is a little rough.
But I will send you a link, and I can only assume, like, it's going to be wild. I will probably be drinking. It'll be very late at night. I'll be tired, and it's just going to be a good time watching XLeague. I'm going to see how much I can get away with, like, showing the game on screen. It's going to be tricky, but I'm only going to do it on Twitch. I'm not going to risk the YouTube. I'm only going to do it on Twitch.
Can you do it, like, when you put on the green screen behind you?
Ooh. That's an interesting... I don't know if I could do video on it. I'll have to check. But I kind of want to do it, like, where we just share a screen. I want to do that. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Last game, Obix Eagles 42, Fukuoka Suns 10. Obix still good. They still have good players. I'm interested to see how they do versus tougher competition.
Yeah, it's always easy when you play you know what I mean? When you play the
Suns are the lovable, like, they have a good social media presence. They're the lovable team, but they're not, they're strictly in that tier 2, that middle tier.
Yeah, they're basically, I'm trying to think of a good analogy. What's a middle tier team?
I think you could just go back to the Vikings and
like
just
the
use
Miami
them.
Dolphins. Just like a middle.
Wow! A shot! Wow! On a weekend after we just waxed the Patriots of all weeks.
Hey, buddy. You know what? And then you're gonna lose to Tua. No, then you lose to my boy Lamar.
No, Dolphins winning that game. You heard it here first. Calling it. Week 1 of the X League is in the books. I'm excited for this season. I'm going to be streaming every single game as much as I can. It's going to be good. Other news. We have some XFL news. We have some staffs. So all the staffs for the XFL teams have fully been announced, which I have to feel means that team names are around the corner. I'm tired of calling them by their cities. I'm tired of saying the Arlington XFL team, the Vegas XFL team. I'm waiting for names.
Yeah, I am too. It's gonna be interesting to see. Do they stay? Do they go? You know what I mean? Like, what do they do? What do they look like?
I'm very excited. I want a team name right now. I will also be announcing this. I will make it to at least 2 Las Vegas XFL team games.
Really?
I'm going to next spring. You can't. Imagine the timing of me going to an XFL game in March and also being able to bet March Madness.
Jeez, dude.
Think of how amazing that'll be.
That'll be pretty legit, dude. I'm a little jealous.
I'm making out for at least 2. It's going to happen. Also, a little movement with the XFL and USFL. We had coaches leave the USFL to join the XFL.
Oh, really? Who did we have?
Yeah, I have the list right here for you. You had Bill Johnson, who was a defensive line coach at Birmingham. He's on the Houston team now in the XFL.
Okay.
Corey Chamberlain, defensive backs coach at Birmingham, moved to the San Antonio XFL team. Chris Dishman, defensive coordinator for Jersey. He's the DC for Jersey. Pretty good defense. He went from Jersey to Vegas. Greg McMahon, special teams coordinator from the Gamblers, now it's the Houston XFL team. John Heimbach, offensive line and special teams for the Birmingham Stallions, moving to the Arlington team. Mark Snyder, linebackers coach, Houston to Orlando. Pat Perez, offensive line coach for Tampa Bay, moving to the St. Louis team. Paul Spicer from the New Orleans to San Antonio. Tim Lewis, co-defensive coordinator for the Houston Gamblers, from Houston to Arlington. And Ty Warren, defensive line coach from the Houston Gamblers to the Orlando team.
What was the pay? Is it a pay increase?
It might be a pay thing. We don't know. Some of these guys were coaches in the XFL in 2020. So, you saw a lot of, not big head coaches return in the XFL in 2022, but you saw a lot of, the lower level guys, come back to the league. So I wonder if it's, a familiarity thing. For the Arlington team, you have Bob Stoops as the head coach, but you also have Jonathan Hayes as an offensive coordinator. He was the head coach of the St. Louis Battlehawks in 2020. So there's a lot of return factor for the XFL this year.
Yep.
So I'm wondering what the pay structure is for coaches. I'm wondering if it's just more of a familiarity thing. I don't know.
I mean, I would think pay. You know what I mean? I mean, honestly, that's what I think. I think it would be a pay thing.
That's what I think would make them leave, because I don't know about the defensive backs coaches or the position coaches, what their contracts were like, but the head coaches were in 2-year contracts. That was the whole head coach thing. They're not going to get fired. That's the whole thing for not firing Kirby Wilson, is they're in these 2-year contract minimums. So it's interesting to see what else comes of this. Because also with the USFL, Larry Fedora has left the league. I assume that means he's maybe doing an analyst role or doing something in college, I would think.
It said he wanted to spend time with his family.
Meh. Larry Fedora doesn't strike me as a family man.
He doesn't strike me as a man.
I don't know.
Lair dog.
I wonder who New Orleans gets to replace him. I know our buddy Chase is clamoring for Joe Brady.
I don't think Joe Brady's going to do it.
How big of a move would that be for the league, though?
I think Matt Patricia is a more real situation there.
That wouldn't be a bad choice. I'm trying to think who else could do it. We'll have to speculate when the season comes. We'll have to give a top list of who we want as our coaches. But
Jerry Jones,
the owner of the Cowboys.
Not Jerry Jones. Who am I thinking of?
June Jones.
June Jones. Yeah.
I think he's happy with what he's doing. I think he's going to be involved in the XFL. So I don't know.
I'm trying to think. Who is their offensive coordinator?
Oh, for the Breakers?
Yeah.
New Orleans Breakers OC. Let's see. Noel Mazzone.
Okay, maybe him. Maybe they keep it internal.
They might. They could do a lot of stuff. I like that there's coach movement though.
Mm-hmm.
Little chippiness between leagues could be very interesting.
I got one for you.
Lay it on me.
I got one for you.
Lay it out.
You ready? Marvin Lewis.
Love it. Love it.
Not bad, right?
That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I like that move.
There you go.
Rich Pisaccia. There we go.
Marvin Lewis. Yeah, I like that.
Give me Rich Pisaccia in a league.
Rich Versace.
Hey, he was great on the Raiders. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
God, who's that one guy? Who is it? Tom Crable?
Yeah. I'm interested to see where New Orleans goes from here. I just want team names for the XFL. I'm just going to keep saying that. Team names, please, when? God damn it.
I'm guessing within the next week.
Oh, if you're right, I'm going to be creaming my fucking pants, dude. Anyway, news out the way. Clear the air. It's time to pick some CFL games.
Let's do it.
You ready? You ready for this 3-game slate? 2 teams get a bye week 3 teams get a bye week this week.
Yeah, there's only 3 games this week.
Yeah, the CFL schedule's weird and wonky. I don't really get it. Game number 1. Edmonton Elks versus the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Riders are 7-point favorites, minus 310 on the money line for the Riders, plus 255 for the Elks. Over-under set at 50. Taylor Cornelius, now, by the way, signed a 2-year contract with the Elks to be their starting quarterback.
Okay, I like that.
Love it for Corn Dog.
All right, so I look at it like this. Both teams are coming off shellackings.
Yes. Yes.
Both teams are going into a bye. Elk season basically over with. Rough Riders still playing for something.
Yeah, with BC slipping, not having Nathan Rourke, that third spot for the West playoff spot is open if the Riders can take it.
I'm thinking 7 or anything less. I'm laying.
God, the Elks play with such heart, though.
I know. I want to take them.
If this was the Elks at home, I would be fading them. It's on the road. I'm gonna take the 7. If it dips below 7, that's tough. I think they can cover this spread. The issue with the Riders is like all it takes is Cody Fajardo to have a really good game, and then they'll just blow up and their offense looks great. But I don't understand. It's hard to tell when he's going to have a good game. This offensive line is still not good, and if he just plays not great to middle, the Elks can steal this game.
Do you think the Elks can steal the game though?
I think so. I have seen Taylor Cornelius go on heaters where he'll just nothing can stop it.
Nothing can stop him.
God, this Elks team is so weird. It's nuts. They're at the bottom of the league. They're at 3-10. I don't know, man. I don't trust this Riders team.
You don't?
I don't.
Okay. All right.
I'm not going to touch that money line, but I'm not touching that total. I'm not touching that total. I'll take the 7.
You'll take the 7?
I will take the 7. Up next, Winnipeg Blue Bombers versus the Hamilton Tiger Cats in Hamilton. Bombers 7.5-point favorites, minus 340 on the money line, plus 280 for Hamilton. Over under set at 46.5.
I feel you have to take the Tiger Cats here at nothing.
I
feel you have to.
What's the status on their Schlitz? What's Hamilton QB? What's their quarterback? That my entire opinion hinges on what's his status? What is Schultz's status? Give me injury reports, CFL. So 4 to 6 weeks, August 30th. God damn it. Not even close. It's probably Dane Evans. God, I just don't want to touch this game. I really don't want to touch it. Yeah, give me the Bombers. Fuck it. I'm on another. Give me the Bombers.
You're on it? You're on it?
Yeah, I'm on the Bombers. I'm on the Bombers as a road favorite. Zach Collaros big dicked me last week. I just can't trust this Hamilton team. Unless they have Matthew Schultz, I am fading them. That's my stance on Hamilton. Last game of the weekend. The BC Lions take on the Calgary Stampeders in Calgary. Calgary's a 6.5-point favorite. Minus 250 on the money line, plus 210 for the Lions. Over under set at 53.
Over under set at 53.
53. It's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points.
I'm on the under.
Stampeders can score though, man.
They can, but can BC score on this defense?
You think that
Their offense is so bad right now.
Yeah. That's true. God damn you.
They're really bad. Like, they have to start Vernon Adams this week. They just have to. They scored 10 last week. And the time before that, they scored 16.
Yeah, you got to kind of take the under. 53 is a lot of points. That's a lot of points.
I'm on Calgary, too. Give me Calgary in the points. Give me the under. I don't know. This BC team is in trouble. They're in a lot of trouble right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're free falling. Roach's gone. They have no quarterback.
I don't trust it. I don't trust it whatsoever. Anyway, that's the CFL picks. Eric, what's your favorite play?
Hamilton. What's the point? Anything over a tutty.
Gross. Disgusting. But I love you. So I would say those things. I would say I hate that pick. I would say you're disgusting Hamilton backer, but I won't because I respect you.
I love it.
I think my favorite's Calgary minus 6.5.
Really? Yeah, I can see that.
Dude, BC is not... Nathan Rourke must have been the glue holding that team together because they are bad without him. I've watched both their games. They are bad.
They're really bad.
That offensive line doesn't work anymore. The defense isn't good anymore. They're falling apart at the seams.
Yeah. Yeah, everything's falling apart. Everything is falling apart, my friend. And they're free falling. Now, let me ask you this. When is Rourke going to come back?
They said maybe like the last 2 weeks. They said like he should make it in time for playoffs. So I still think they make the playoffs. They have a little bit of wiggle room. Just because I think what are they? They're 2 games ahead of Saskatchewan right now.
Okay.
And the Riders play the Bombers. They still have to play the Bombers and the Stampeders twice.
So what are they at right now?
They are at 8-3. They're in second place in the West.
8-3.
They're 8-3. The Stampeders are at 8-4. The Riders are at 6-7.
The Riders are at 6-7.
And the Elks are sitting all the way down at 3-10.
Yeah, I don't.
But the Riders have to play Edmonton, which is this week. That's probably a win. But they have to play the Bombers still again. Hamilton at Hamilton. Calgary twice.
But I look at it like this. If the Lions get Rourke back, he's going to be hot. This is a team that showed that they were one of the better offenses. Now, granted, we're gambling that their offense will look good when he comes back, but, you know.
We are, but also for the Lions, the worry for them is they're also entering the toughest part of their schedule because it's a weird spot because they play the Stamps this week. They play them again the 24th. Then they play the Red Blacks, a scrappy team, especially with one Arbuckle as the quarterback. Then they play the Argonauts, who are heating up at the perfect moment. Then they play the Bombers. Then they get a nice little break with the Elks. But that's a trap game because they play the Bombers, then the Elks, and then the Bombers again.
Yeah.
They both have tough schedules. Like, the Lions and the Riders can't really afford any mistakes on either side. The Riders do have to play catch-up, though. The Riders have to win, like, 3 games.
Yeah.
So if they just both lose out, it's Edmonton. It's BC still. The pressure's on the Rough Riders. So I don't know.
I usually don't like backing teams when pressure's on them, dude. Man.
Like, I'm interested to see, does Cody Fajardo fold under the pressure? I think he thrives under it sometimes, but he's had such a weird season.
Fading teams that need to win.
The Riders need to win.
You know, God damn it, Jimbo.
Hey, you know what Taylor Cornelius does? He covers.
Give me the Elks plus the point.
We got him, ladies and gentlemen. We got him.
Give me the Elks plus the points.
We got him, folks. We got him. Oh, give it to me. Love it. I'm going to do a little parlay.
Ooh.
I'm going to do the Edmonton. I'm just going to do straight spread, parlay. Elks plus 7. Bombers minus 7.5. Screw you, Eric. And Calgary minus 6.5.
I'm going to do the Elks plus 7.
Don't you dare take the Ticats money line.
I'll take the Elks plus 7. Take the Hamilton plus the 7.5.
Also, for those listening or watching, wait for the announcement. If it is Dane Evans starting, take Ticats plus 4 in the first half.
Plus 4 in the first half?
Yeah, every time he started a game, they have won the first half. Schultz has been a different story, but with Dane Evans back there, they have won the first half and then been utterly humiliated in second halves.
My parlay is this. Elks plus 7, Tiger Cats plus 7.5, under 53 in the BC game.
I like that. I like that. Thank you all for watching. This is it. This has been Spring Fever this week. Tune in next week when we talk. Maybe I'll talk some shit. Silverback in the chat, by the way. He's on the Riders, Bombers, and Stamps.
Nice.
I think that's who wins. I definitely think that's who all wins. The Elks, in my opinion, have the best shot because that Riders' offensive line is terrible. I might even bet the over in that game just because both. I don't know. The Rough Riders' defense is really good, but 50 is a lot. But I might bet that over. Anyway, this has been Spring Fever. Eric, where can the people find you?
At eTalk21 Sports, you can find me with this big guy. Friday night, him, and Gino will be on BTV's Campus Profits. Jimbo and I, in the morning, Saturday, the tailgate, will be breaking down all our bets. And then my podcast comes out Friday morning-ish, Friday afternoon. Somewhere Friday, my podcast comes out.
It comes out in the morning on Friday for someone.
Yeah, for someone. It depends how Apple's doing.
It's always morning somewhere.
And then my live stream comes out every Tuesday night.
Damn right. Make sure you guys check it out. You guys know what I'm doing. I got the schedule posted every Monday. XFL Gym is everywhere. CFL Gym recaps of the CFL every Tuesday morning. Love you guys. I'll see you next week. Make sure you give us a like, give us a listen. We appreciate it. And give you a little kiss. Say goodbye. Bye. Little kiss. Mwah, mwah, mwah.